My name is Richie Custodian II.
I am Martha Area.
In this episode, we are going to be doing cryptids, little urban legends or things that you've heard of, such as Loch Ness Monster, Bigfoot,
Yetis.
Hillary Clinton.
My father.
We didn't want to do any ones that have been done too many times before.
That's mine. You good?
Yeah, no, that was weird. It was like my soul sneezed.
The first one I got, I'm probably gonna be messing up all of these names because they're not English. The first one I got are Aholes.
Aholes?
Yeah, I think like Ahools.
That's the noise I just made when I sneezed just now.
Aholes. Giant, like bats. They're not like vampire bats, but they're huge. Wingspan of like 12 feet.
Oh hell! I thought you were gonna say 6 tops 12 feet.
No, yeah, about 3 times the average bat.
Oh hell no!
The regular bat times 3. It's pretty big, but
I'm sorry. You're telling me the average bat has a 4 feet wingspan?
yeah, bats got big
What
wings.
the
Man. And they're huge. They're even known to like pick up small children, like like preteens. Yeah,
That's how you know how big you are by the quality of child that you can pick up.
Exactly.
You're picking up toddlers that you're lightweight class.
A
All right.
pelican could pick up a toddler. What's the bird that drops off kids?
Swan.
No, it's not a swan. Seagull.
No, it has a C or D. It's got long legs. I'm pretty sure it's a swan.
It's not a swan, dude. Anyways, it's first discovered in 1925 by a doctor, Dr. Ernest Bartles. And discovers this as it kidnaps a child.
So he didn't find it in some safari adventure he was doing.
No.
He just saw a kid get.
Basically, yeah, razor sharp fangs. It mainly is a omnivore, but when it does eat flesh, it eats large amounts of flesh. So a whole kid.
Think it eats ass?
If it eats a whole child, then technically, yeah. And its main way of killing things is to bite it so hard on the back of the neck that it cracks open the spine.
Imagine feeling your spinal fluid get slurped out. You think that would hurt?
I don't think you feel it.
Yeah, right. But then again, your stork. A stork. That's what it is.
There you go.
How did that take so long? A stork. What? Yeah.
It's basically a goal.
It's a big goal. Not as big as the Aholes though.
It's not big enough to pick up a grown dude.
12-foot wingspan? It better be big enough to pick up a grown dude.
Dude, a 12-foot wingspan doesn't mean that his body is that big.
Think about it. I'm 6 feet tall, right? So my wingspan is about 3 feet, pretty much.
But you're not a bird.
Going on into my first cryptid is the Bunyip. Now the Bunyip is a creature from East Aboriginal Australia. Its main habitat is swamps and creeks, small ponds, and something called a billabong. So the word Bunyip, it means devil or evil spirit. Years later, it was also used as a synonym for imposter, which could tell me that maybe a lot of people thought this thing was a hoax. The cool thing about the Bunyip, out of all the cryptids I've seen, is that no one knows exactly what this thing looks like. People have reported seeing the Bunyip to look like a hippo, a giant starfish, a cross between a crocodile and a horse. Some people say it has dog features, the bill of a duck, the scales of an alligator, horns, the tail of a eel. The Bunyip has like so many parts to it, we have no clue what it is. The only sound that the Bunyip makes is this deep booming howl.
Ahoo!
I imagine it sounds more like And apparently the howl is so loud that it's known to shatter eardrums and incapacitate people. And the Bunyip also supposedly has the ability to mind control people with the same howl. Apparently it can also alter the water level. The Bunyip has razor sharp claws, right? But actually prefers to hug people to death. Literally will use its tentacles and or arms and or wings, because I don't know what the this thing has at this point, to...
The Bunyip sounds OP as hell.
It's said to swim like a frog underwater, but it walks on its 4 legs on land. Apparently, this thing is 12 feet tall when it stands on its 4 legs. Apparently, the Bunyip was started because a man broke the sky serpent's greatest rule by eating its totem. Sky serpent's just chilling. He has one rule: don't eat my totem. And then this guy was like, and then he turned him into a Bunyip.
That's like a workplace refrigerator. Like, don't eat my food, and then somebody eats your food. Like, now I have to kill him.
Except for instead of killing him, he turned him into a giant hippo slash starfish slash horse slash alligator slash... Yeah, I really like the Bunyip because there was an HBO special made about it when my mom was a kid, and it scared the crap out of her and scarred her. So, you know. Love you, Mom.
I don't have anything that scared my mom. I wish I had. That would avoid it a lot. For my second, I have the Dobhar-chu, also known as the King Otter, which is a lot easier to say, also known as a water hound. First recorded sighting was in the 17th century. This woman, Grianne, was outside in the creek doing her laundry. Suddenly, she screams. Her husband comes out and runs down the creek and sees the water hound murdering his wife.
I'll tell you where Miss Green went wrong in Ireland. Green, if you're out there listening, why were you washing your fucking clothes in a creek? It's called a washer machine. Use one. I mean, come on, get with the times. What the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah, because washing machines in the 1600s, that was a thing.
They could have figured it out. Was electricity invented back then?
No.
Yeah, Thomas Edison invented electricity back in like the 1400s. So she should have been able to have enough electricity to create a washing machine and wash her clothes. But her dumb ass, what kind of name is Green anyway?
It was Grianne. Anyways, this thing is basically a otter and a dog hybrid. It has fur like a dog, but the facial features of an otter.
Otters, adorable. Dogs, adorable. Why is this thing a man-eating monster?
I couldn't find like too much about the Dobhar-chu.
Dobhar-chu. That sounds like the fourth evolution of Pikachu. Paichu, Pikachu, Raichu, Dobhar-chu.
They look like a Pokemon. Saw a picture of it.
Was it cute?
No, like an otter that wanted to eat you.
Maybe most otters want to eat us, but they just don't have the genetics to be able to make it happen.
Maybe. Otters are pretty adorable, though.
Look, all I know is if I saw a cute-ass little half dog, half otter Dobhar-chu coming at me, but here, boy, here, I would 100% get murdered.
Oh, look at that dog.
It started with Green.
Grianne.
Grown.
Grianne.
Grasp. My second cryptid is Stickmen / stick figures. These are exactly what you think a stickman that walked off the page looked like. Impossibly tall and incredibly thin and black all the way through. They were usually described as having big heads that were either circular or oval. No eyes, no face, they were just black beings. Yeah, some people say that they are literally so thin that they can turn at a certain angle and just become completely invisible. They started being spotted in the 70s. There was a man who was walking on this path, and in front of him crosses a large, extremely tall, it was about twice his height, black stickman. He sees him, and this stickman got scared, threw his arms in the air, and then just quickly walked off. Now, the thing that creeped me out about this is that he walked away. He didn't scurry away, he didn't run off, he just, and then just never saw him again. Another case happened in the 80s of a man who was at a campfire with two of his friends. One of his friends felt a buzzing on the top of their head, went to slap it, then looked up, only to find a stickman just standing there dancing behind him.
There was no stickman behind that guy.
Yeah.
He was high as
They had just done a lot of acid. These stickmen vary from being reported as like loners and wanting to stay away from human beings to being very violent and haunting people. The slight majority of stickmen that people have reported seeing are evil. Slight majority.
Majority?
Majority.
Majority. My next one is going to be Hellhounds.
A lot of dog themed ones on this
Real
list.
cool.
You're not even a dog person, are you?
I'm an animal person.
I could shoot a baby right in front of you and you would just wipe the blood spatter off your face and be like, damn, that was crazy.
Yeah.
If I tripped on a dog, you'd be like, you son of a bitch. Exactly.
If I heard that dog whimper, I would make you apologize. So Hellhounds, in most mythologies, they're controlled by whoever controls that particular underworld. Satan, Hades, Pluto. They're usually controlled by those people. In the Appalachian Mountains or whatever, they're supposedly free roaming and they eat livestock. Apparently there's a ton of Hellhound sightings in Kentucky.
Well, that's because Colonel Sanders is actually Satan.
It's starting to make sense.
Imagine climbing a mountain in the Appalachian. Finally, got to the top of this mountain, you look and there's just a crowd of dogs on fire.
I think that they might actually be real, the ones there, and just a subspecies of like a hyena or
wild
a
dog,
yeah, or some shit like that. And people were just like, no, that's a hellhound. It's a cool idea, you know? This dog that guards the underworld.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Cerberus, scary.
Big ass, three-headed dog.
Yeah, that dog's like hundreds of feet tall.
That was my worst nightmare when I was a kid.
Cerberus?
Yeah, just dogs. You think that's where a lot of cryptids come from, though? Because, you know, when people are scared, they kind of, like, imagine shit.
Yeah, I'm gonna say like 90% of cryptids are probably fake.
Yeah, people just seeing something totally normal but getting scared and
Some
being
of
like,
them-
a dragon!
Some of them have too long of histories to be fake.
Mhm.
Like I believe that the Loch Ness monster exists, and things like so many people have seen it.
Mhm.
It's kind of hard to say that all these people are faking.
Yeah, I believe that the Earth is flat. My next and final cryptid is the Dalby Spook, most commonly known as Jeff. Yeah, not Jeoff, not Jeff, just Gef, Jeff, the talking mongoose. This is my favorite cryptid that I've ever heard of. He is the friendliest out of all of them. He's not trying to hurt you. He doesn't even want to stay to himself. He's just a cool little talking mongoose guy that loves to help people out. There was this little family of 3 in September of 1931 called the Irvings, a mom, a dad, and a child. And one day they're chilling in their farmhouse and they can hear behind the wooden panels this little scurrying noise. And then upon investigating, they find this little mongoose that was the size of a small rat with yellow fur. We really don't know where Jeff comes from. I don't even think Jeff knows where Jeff came from. He kind of told them that he was the ghost of a dead mongoose. He told him that he was an earthbound spirit. Jeff was also pretty self-conscious of his own appearance. He told the family that he was ugly and horrifying, and that if anyone laid eyes upon him, then they would basically die of fright and or turn into a pillar of salt and stone.
Damn.
He genuinely thought he was ugly and basically would just constantly talk. The family actually seemed to be low-key annoyed by the fact that he talked so much. It was like if I was a mongoose.
I would beat you with a shovel.
He guarded their house from any suspicious animals, would let them know if someone was coming near or onto the property. If anyone left the stove on, he would go and turn it off. If anyone overslept, then he would go up to them and wake them up in the morning. Jeff had kind of become an urban legend in the community. People would come in droves and people would listen out and look out and see if they could hear or see Jeff. And dozens of people have claimed to have actually heard Jeff talking, you know, in the underbrush or in little tunnels or whatever. And only 2 people besides the actual Irvings themselves claim to have seen Jeff in person. The Irving passed away, the father of the family. That same year, the daughter and the wife moved out. Someone else bought the property after and found the body of a dead mongoose. However, this mongoose was considerably larger than Jeff was reported to be and was not the same color at all. It was black and white, not yellow.
It could have been Jeff.
No. We have solid proof.
This video is cryptids, man. We have no proof any of these things ever existed.
What was the disease going around in the 1950s? Probably measles, right? Mumps? The AIDS epidemic wasn't until the 70s or the 80s, right? That's probably what got Jeff, honestly. What if Jeff was the thing that started AIDS? You remember they said the thing that started AIDS was the guy f***ed a monkey?
Yeah.
What if it wasn't a monkey and he just didn't want to admit that he f***ed a talking ferret because that was easier to swallow for everybody?
How would that be easier for anybody to say?
Okay, Marco, if I told you I contracted AIDS, right, and I said, I fucked the shit out of a monkey, right, and then you're like, okay, that makes sense, and I was like, you know what, I lied, I didn't think you'd believe that I fucked the shit out of a talking mongoose. You'd be like, Richard f***ed a monkey.
No, I would run around telling everybody you f***ed a talking mongoose. Actually, I would ask you what the mongoose said.
Probably like, yeah.
So the final cryptid of this video is the Jersey Devil.
Bum, bum, bum.
Yeah. In 1 week, between January 16th and January 23rd of 1909, there was over 100 sightings of the Jersey Devil in Camden and Bristol.
That's in England, right?
The website did say. Some of the first sightings were in Europe.
Mm-hmm.
It was actually sighted by Joseph Bonaparte, which is Napoleon Bonaparte's older brother.
Huh. You think he had a micro penis too?
No. Well, I don't know. It's basically a horse face. It's got little hooves and a snake for a tail.
All you said was the face and the tail. What about the body?
It varies. It looks like an imp.
It's just a midget with a horse face and a snake
wings.
tail?
And wings.
And wings? I'd be
Yeah.
scared as too if I saw that.
The Jersey Devil is really cool. Some people say it can like spit fire. Some people say it spits poison water. Yeah, I don't know which is worse. I'll probably take the fire.
This poison water would just look like vomit coming out.
I don't know how to combat that either. Like, you can't stop, drop, and roll poison water. The Jersey Devil is sighted so many times throughout history. 2009 was the last reported sighting of the Jersey Devil. Fun fact, the Philadelphia Zoo put out a $10,000 bounty on the Jersey Devil's excrement.
Okay. That would have made complete sense if you had said any other part of the Jersey Devil. Maybe there was a good reason. What was the reason?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know. Where did the Jersey Devil come from? Well, here's where. Over in England, but there's a town called Leeds.
Okay.
Leeds, yeah. And there was a woman who went by the name of Mother Leeds. She had 13 children. And that 13th child, she cursed. She cursed her 13th child because of the number 13.
That is f***ed up.
So throughout his infancy, he started changing and morphing into what we know now as the Jersey Devil with the hooves and the horse face and the snake for a tail.
Mm-hmm.
And then he would just run around for a little while causing mischief and then causing harm.
You know, the most astonishing part of that story is that she had 13 kids.
Back then,
There were no epidurals, no C-sections or anything. You telling me she had 13 kids, no complications? I think out of all of the ones on your list, I would be the most afraid to run into Jersey Devil. Never mind. Because if I saw it in a Aholes, I'd see that 12-foot wingspan and be like, that's Jeepers Creepers. So what would be the one that you're the most scared to run into on my list? Yeah.
The Bunyip.
Yeah, I would be...
The Bunyip has no solid look. I would love to run into Jeff.
Yeah, I think I would be low-key freaked out to run into Jeff. I feel like he has a British accent. He'd be like, hello. And I'd be like, Well, all right, guys. Thanks again for watching another video. We're going to be posting more regularly in the month of December. We're going to try to get a good 3 or 4 out.
You know, you guys were missing us.
So much.
We came back.
We just knew the holiday season wouldn't be right for you if we weren't a part of it.
Yeah, sure.
So, Merry Christmas to you. And to all, a good night.
Happy holidays. See you guys.
What you looking at there, Marco?
Shit.
What's that?
Hey, what's that? What's that wire do?
Caricature.
Come again.
I can't talk. What is the word I'm trying to say? Caricature?
Caricature?
Caricature? Is that how you say it?
Caricature.
Caricature? Caricature. I think it's caricature.
It doesn't sound right now.
None of it sounds right to me. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Come again.
Yes, come again. Yeah, okay, I'm gonna stop. Our IQ drops 10 points every single time we make a video.
I always have the cameras on us. We just like.
By the end of December, we're gonna get in front of the camera and be like, soft as a gummy worm.
Soft as a gummy worm. Sorry, sir.
And who would kill me? I'm lovable.
What?
Yeah.
That's a long list of people.
Like maybe 2 people on Earth would kill me, and you're one
What
of
I'm
them.
saying is if they lock up everybody who wants to murder you, I'll be in the room with everybody we know.
Yeah, we get canceled faster than Kevin Spacey on a playground. I wish I had a brain. If I threw a newborn baby a ball and he just caught it like that, I'd be like, kill it. All right.